Am I the asshole for getting mad about my mom marrying my fiance's dad? Throwaway. Please don't repost this somewhere else. My mom doesn't have Reddit but does have Instagram, etc. And I don't want her to find this as I do give out some identifiable details. Thank you. I, 24F, and my fiance, 24M, have been together since our sophomore year of college, so around 5 years now. For context, my mom, 50F, had an affair with a coworker when I was 16, leading to my parents' divorce. She has been single ever since, going on dates but no serious relationships. I have a good relationship with my dad and his new wife. Sadly, my fiancé's mom passed 2 years ago due to cancer and his dad, 53M, has been single since. My fiancé proposed last year but our wedding was delayed due to COVID. Our families had never met up to this point because his family lives in South Carolina, whereas we're in North Carolina, where we went to college, around a 3 hours drive away from his dad. 3 months ago, in January 2021, we decided that it was time to have our families meet for the first time to discuss our upcoming wedding in June 2021. Held in our backyard, COVID appropriate, immediate family only. My dad and his wife, my fiancé's dad, and my mom all met at our place to meet and discuss the wedding. This went well, albeit there was some tension between my mom and my dad. This morning, out of the blue, my mom called me and announced that she had eloped. I was shocked as she had not been dating anyone to my knowledge. Upon questioning, it turns out that she and my fiancé's dad had been dating in secret since that meeting in January and had married in secret yesterday, making my fiancé my stepbrother. I want to throw up just thinking about this. She said that I should now cancel my wedding because it would be inappropriate to marry my stepbrother. I'm absolutely horrified. I shouted at my mom, saying she just loves ruining my life, and called her selfish. First she cheated on my dad, and now she went and married my fiancé's dad, knowing full well I was about to marry my fiancé. My mom then said I was still young and I'd have the chance to meet someone new, but she's old and has to take every opportunity she's got, and so I was an ungrateful BTCH for not approving of her marriage. She then accused me of wanting her to die alone. I don't think I'm the asshole, but I just wanted to make sure because ultimately I don't want her to have to be alone, even though I think she did that to herself by hurting my dad. I think I should be allowed to marry my fiancé as we met first. I'm also 12 weeks pregnant with my fiancé's kid, so that complicates matters more. We haven't told anybody yet. Am I the asshole for being mad about my mom marrying my fiancé's dad and because she said I can't marry my fiancé anymore? Edit. I don't know much about whether it's legal to marry your stepbrother, so if someone could confirm that would be great. Edit 2. Mini update. We just called his dad. Apparently, he sees no issue with my fiancé and I staying together. It was my mom who had an issue. Honestly, I still don't know how to feel about this because this still feels kinda gross to me. We'll probably be going low or no contact. Not gonna lie. I laughed. Not the asshole obviously. In a big part not because of your mom hooking up with your fiancé's dad, but because she thinks that means you should ditch your fiancé. Not the asshole. Your mom is insane. There's no issue with you marrying a non-blood relative. This seems like a stunt she wants to pull just to control your life. Marry your fiancé and cut off both of your respective parents. Edited to add. It might depend where you are, but it's highly unlikely that there's a law preventing you from marrying a step-sibling. It would be ridiculous if that weren't the case since you're not blood relatives. Whoa. Massive not the asshole. Mom and fiancé's dad sure are though. Don't cancel your wedding, but I would consider canceling your relationship with your mother. Not even necessarily because she married your fiancé's dad. As messed up as it was, I'd be re-evaluating whether or not to have her in your life because on top of that she suggested that you call off your wedding to someone you've been with for years just because she married a man she met a few months ago without even telling you. She sounds like a narcissist. I also would keep her far away from the wedding unless you want her walking around telling everyone how disappointed she is that you decided to marry your stepbrother. So not the asshole. If this is real, both your parents are the but you guys still can get married. It's clear that you're in love and want to. IDK how you could marry someone you've only known for 3 months and is the father, daughter of your new son, daughter-in-law. Not the asshole. She said that I should now cancel my wedding because it would be inappropriate to marry my stepbrother. That's hilariously self-centered. Good news though, there's no reason for either of you to ever speak to either of them again. I don't know much about whether it's legal to marry your stepbrother, so if someone could confirm that would be great. I'm also in North Carolina. You can marry anyone who isn't biologically your double first cousin or closer here, and whatever your mother does, you're not related to your fiancé at all for the purposes of marriage law. Not the asshole. Your mom seems like a toxic and willingly harmful BTCH. 1. You are not forced to approve of anything just because she is your mom too. What should you be thankful for? That she cheated on you dad and destroyed your family the first time? That she did marry your fiancé's dad and is now targeting you specifically. You should really consider to cut her out of your life. Especially because it sounds if she is doing this on purpose. She married after 3 months. That is insane. Talk to your soon-to-be husband and cut them out together. Also, post this to our entitled parents. This also belongs there. Not the asshole. Time for a nice sit-down conversation with your fiancé about cutting 2 absolutely absurd children out of your lives. 'Cause his dad's as much at fault here as your mother is. You definitely don't need to call off the wedding. Nothing complicated here. Marry your so. Cut your mom's BS. Have a great life. Not the asshole. Wow. Not the asshole. But I would absolutely 100% just agree with her and tell her that you've decided to break up and find someone new, etc., etc. And then carry right on with your fiancé and life as planned. Then every time your mother hears anything about your wedding or life and calls you up to complain, you could just poker face it with more and more outrageous statements. What? No, of course I broke up with husband of 6 years. No, of course I don't have 3 kids and a mortgage. That would be insane. No, I can't come to Christmas. I'm too busy finding someone new. NTA. I suggest going no contact with your mom. Imagine if you and your fiancé have kids. How do you even explain that? What they've done is wrong on so many levels. I'm sorry your mama's like this. Yeah, she raised you, but look what she's done and how she's treating you. You don't deserve this and should walk away from that circus. NTA. Your mom sounds very selfish. Marry your fiancé but think hard if you actually want your mom at your wedding. Not the asshole for getting mad. I doubt it is illegal to marry a stepbrother when you didn't grow up together. As long as you are not biologically related should be fine. There was a story like this last year that I saw. I'm sure there were many, that the mother purposefully did this to keep the kids from marrying. Go ahead with your plans and just let your mom do her thing. You cannot control what she does, you can control your reaction to it. Not the asshole. Your mom is 1 for cheating on your dad. 2nd for marrying you fiancé's dad. 3rd for telling you should cancel your wedding and 4th for the rest of the comments. I would simply uninvite her from your wedding as well as your fiancé's dad. Go no contact with her. She doesn't deserve to be there. She also doesn't deserve any contact with you and future baby. She made her bed so she should face the consequences. Not the asshole. Keep the partner, toss away the mother. She deserves to be alone after she did this to you. This exact same story was posted before and it turned out that the mom and Phil, new stepdad, planned the whole thing in hopes of separating the kids. They did really get married and did fall in love, but it started as a way to stop the kids and developed into something more real, I guess. I wonder if this is the same thing or a repost. Wow, that is wild. Not the asshole though. I especially love how she just told you that you now can no longer marry your fiancé and are young enough to find someone else. That is just not how these things work, and the fact that she thinks like that is very worrying. I am not sure about any legal issues, but I sincerely hope there won't be any. Also, feel free to cut your mother and Phil out of your lives. Not the asshole. Your mom sucks. It's not illegal to marry someone not blood related. NTA. Your mom knew you were engaged. Sorry for my English, and still decided to do this? It's a real sucky move for her to do that, and that your fiancé's dad agreed to start dating your mom, wow. And that your mom still can easily get a new guy. She is not even that old. She should break up with your fiancé's dad and find a man via a dating app, or something IDK. And I advise to tell her that you are pregnant. Why do people believe, upvote, and comment on obvious fake stories like these? Looks like it was written by a teenager. You are the asshole. This story is fake and would be a non-issue anyway, as it isn't illegal to marry your step-sibling. Lol. Some story. You had me until the random pregnancy. How can you be an adult and not realize it's legal to marry step-siblings? Laws exist to prevent incest, due to blood relation. Unless your mom went back in time and gave birth to your fiance, you're in the clear. Not trying to be disrespectful. But is this real? Yikes. If this is real, I would be cutting all contact. Not the asshole, but honestly this one is kinda hard to fully believe. Not the asshole, but you mom sure is. Fiance's dad is too. What a shitty thing to do to your kids. Wow, how gross and disgusting. And is she your mother or your frenemy? Don't talk to your mother again, and also your boyfriend shouldn't talk to his father again. Although, you should all confront them and cut all contacts with your mother and his father. You shouldn't invite them to your wedding either. You should talk to your father and talk to your BF. I know, it's freaking gross what your mother did. Making your boyfriend into step-brother. But you aren't blood-related and you already had a relationship before your mother ruined it. Get married to your BF, and forget your mother. Not the asshole. Sometimes parents refuse to see that their children have grown up and can call them on their shit. What's your fiancé want to do? I personally would cut contact, especially if she's trying to break you guys up. Also, you might want to look at adult emancipation. I'm not really sure about the law over there, but technically being step-siblings could complicate things and could be legally considered incestuous. Again, not a lawyer or an American, but I'd look into it. Not the asshole. Your mom clearly did it in secret and before you just so she could break you guys up. As far as I know, marrying a step-sibling is not illegal. You're not related. The whole, you're young you'll find someone else, is so selfish. You've been together for 5 years, and you'd already be married if not for the pandemic. Don't split up with your fiancé over your mom's selfishness. If anyone thinks it's weird you married your step-brother, just tell them this story. Your mom is the here, but I assume based on her history their marriage likely won't last long anyway. Big not the asshole. What a horrible mother you have there. For all this time, she stay single and suddenly she married her daughter's fiancé's father? If she care for you, she won't marry him no matter how much she love him. Just follow her step. Elope with your fiancé. Or do the wedding and invite them, and announce your pregnancy at the wedding. Let people see how big asshole your mother and stepfather is to marry knowing their children are going to get married. Not the asshole. There's nothing illegal about marrying your stepbrother. You're not biologically related. She's free to date who she wants although her choice is weird. But her insisting that you can't marry him makes her the not the asshole, and it's perfectly legal to marry a step-sibling, except in Vermont I believe. Your mother is just being flat-out weird and has no right to dictate who you marry. Not the asshole. Maybe she should be alone if that's how she treats people. Yikes. Fucking absolutely not the asshole. Your mother is so wrong and very very strange. Please go and get married and cut the pair of them off. Immediately. I'm sorry this happened to you. Not the asshole, but move forward with your own plans. Much more important to give baby 2 happy parents, that will give their child the life it deserves. Please don't get hung up on technicality. When love finds you, you can't ignore it, no matter who you are. I think your mom and stepdad, Phil, just disinvited themselves from the wedding. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You're not preventing her from anything. With the way she phrased it I'd say she eloped to beat you to the altar so she could tell you that you can't marry your fiancé. She is incredibly selfish. You have every right to be upset. Not the asshole. Your mom is gross and crazy. This is just the plot of Gossip Girl. Not the asshole. You and your significant other aren't blood relatives. Go ahead and get married. Your mom is a piece of work. But then, so is your future father-in-law. Life is short. If they're in love, congratulate them and move on with your plans. From a family law website. Is there a law against step-sibling marriages? If you wanted to marry your stepbrother or stepsister, there is nothing in U.S. law that says you cannot do it. There is no U.S. law that makes it illegal for step-siblings to become lawful husbands and wives. Even though you may be related through your parents' marriage, you are not related by blood. Therefore, you are not subject to consanguinity laws, which make it illegal for close blood relatives to get married. You're not even step-siblings. You're already adults and she had no part in raising him, plus she didn't adopt him once married. Because hello, he's 24. Your mom is just ignorant, ignore her. Not the asshole. Funny. I've seen this exact same story posted about a dozen times on AITA. I swear that I've read this story before. Only the parents had a big wedding and dedicated the song, Sweet Home Alabama, to the new step-siblings. They did in fact break up briefly. It turned out to be a plot by the parents to break them up because they, the op and her partner, had mentioned that they intended to move away after getting married themselves. And yes, the original couple wound up getting back together. They, like this op, had never had a sibling relationship. There was no reasonable reason why they should not continue as a couple, and so I think they went NC and got back together. This is what I think this op needs to do. Go NC and stay together. Live your best life without guilt. Hi stepmom, a vacancy has opened up. How would you like to be promoted to mom? NTA. I would simply message your mother. You two may have gained a spouse, but each of you lost your child over this. Please do not contact me again. No legal issues in marrying a non-blood relative. Not the asshole for being pissed or going forward with your wedding. Don't view him as a parent. He's your fill. I literally read this story a few weeks ago, except they couldn't now marry legally. This has to be fake. Yikes. Not the asshole. I wanted to say no assholes here, but she should have told you when she started dating him, and she was very wrong to encourage you to break off your own wedding.